Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Standing Bear Thunderheart, aka Bear, and today, basically, what I'm here to express, as of course, of what happened last night. And like I said, normally I don't talk about professional wrestling events and things like that. I normally focus on mixed martial arts and different other forms, but professional wrestling is part of the post-fight recap that I like to do every once in a while, and it is a fighting, combative sport slash performance, that is, or entertainment for the most part. But of course, what happened last night, I wanted to express this in a video because I thought it was very interesting, and I really felt that certain fans, whether it's in the professional wrestling arena, mixed martial arts, boxing, or even other sports arena, sports events such as football, basketball, baseball, whatever, and any other sports for that matter. It just seems that certain fans are good, and then, that's why there's fans out there, because they pay people money. They're the reasons why pro athletes have such great salaries, because the fans are great. Basically they're basically are fans of the sport or fans of the athletes that they like and things like that. However, what happens when certain fans or certain people within those events or in the seats go too far and start getting aggressive, start like shoving, start hitting, and actually, you know what? Come to think of it, I'm not just mentioning just athletes. I'm mentioning just any celebrities for that matter, whether it's a rock star or a rapper or things like that. Things, any basically anybody who's actually or who go on stage or who put themselves out there, they're gonna have fans. Or some are gonna be good and loyal and actually have the boundaries, and some that are gonna be so fanatic. That's what fan means, fanatic, that they're gonna think that they can do whatever they want with you, and that's not even the case. That should not be the case, even though they believe in their own minds that they're entitled to that. And one great example last night was what happened after WWE Raw, which I barely even get a chance to do so, but when I do, I usually watch it like on YouTube or Hulu or however I need to do it, but I would watch like highlights of it too. CM Punk, of course, had a little match against the chairman of the WWE and CEO, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, or Vince McMahon. And let's just make a long story short, it was a performance when Vince McMahon came to say the address. CM Punk interrupted him. Make a long story short, CM Punk did his heel thing when he talked about being, the best in the world, respect, slapped Vince McMahon in the face. Vince McMahon challenges him for a street fight, and they had a little street fight, which was fine, which was a pretty good match in itself. Even though, yeah, a lot of people think it was fake and everything, but hear me out, because that's not what really made it great. During that heat, of course, then he was going to run away. Actually, he was about to beat up Vince McMahon. Then Ryback came to stop him, to actually beat up CM Punk. He got away. John Cena came, hit him, threw him back. He escaped again and into the crowd. But what happened when he went into the crowd, though, that was what really got interesting, because then when Vince McMahon was talking to him and threatening that either he needs to choose Ryback or John Cena to fight, whoever he needs to make a choice, or Vince McMahon will make a choice for him, a bunch of fans were behind him, touching him, but they were shoving him, they were punching him in the kidneys. And CM Punk, I saw, various clips on various angles. One particular fan was there at the wrong place at the wrong time. What I mean by that was that because there were so many fans that are hitting him from behind, pushing his head, punching him in the shoulder, and he was like kept on swatting, and he got to a point where in the middle of all this action and all the heat that the fans were getting, because CM Punk is the heat, he's a heel, and heels get a lot of heat. But doesn't give a reason for fans to be getting all stupid and start shoving and punching and doing all kinds of aggressive, behavior like that. So, and of course, fans, and a lot of these fans don't expect them to fight back or to swing at them or anything. Well, wrong. CM Punk turned around and swung and hit the fan. And hit the fan that was wearing sunglasses that was like not too far from where all the action was. The only difference about it is that fan, that he not only did he swung and backhand the fan, but he actually punched the fan again that was wearing sunglasses. Turns out that fan wasn't even the one that touched him. He wasn't even the culprit of it. That's what's the stupid part about it. At the same time, though, I cannot blame CM Punk for swinging, for defending himself that way either. I mean, throughout the years, certain wrestlers have had So many people started fights with them. And I'm not just saying that because I'm seeing a bunch of media stuff and media hype, or for what I've seen from media clips. I've actually been in these places myself as a fan, and I've actually seen fans try to certain idiots try to start fights with not only wrestlers or security guards or people who work there, but I've even seen them trying to fight each other. And I've always seen where fans then have gotten fights and so forth, and certain fans or family members had to tell them to each member of the team or group of people to calm down, guys. Let's not get kicked out, please, or whatever the case. So I mean, I don't know what is going on with some of these fans. I mean, these fans think that they can get aggressive with certain celebrities. They think they owe them, that the celebrities owe him things, or I mean, they get so obsessed with them, and they think they're entitled to do whatever they want with these celebrities. And no, these fans need to learn that celebrities are people too. They just do more work than you do. I mean, these fans are paying money for their salaries, and that's fine. At the same time, these celebrities, the reason why they're up there is because they work at it. They have worked their craft. They've really done a lot for themselves in the hustle that they went through to get to where they're at. So whether it's professional athletes, rappers, and I mean, there has been incidences too where so many fans have attacked rock stars or even attacked rappers. I mean, for instance, 50 Cent many years ago, he would have like certain places that when he would do his shows, people would throw chairs at him, and he would get very pissed off enough to throw chairs right back at them, at the fans, certain idiots that were throwing chairs at them, And there's just a lot of countless things. I mean, from basketball players. I mean, remember what happened many years ago in the NBA? There were some basketball players that were provoked by other fans, and so the basketball players would go up and fight with the fans, and the fans would fight them and everything. I mean, these are the kind of things that I'm talking about that, I really feel that fans should start keeping their hands to themselves, if anything. I mean, that's how these things start. I mean, and also, too, another incident with Chris Jericho many years ago when he was up in Canada and Vancouver. He was just walking down, minding his own business. There are certain fans that are, being idiots, and they try to assault Jericho, and then some even spit at him, and so he assaulted not only some people that he did, but one of them was a girl that he assaulted because she assaulted him first, and then not to mention in retrospect, he was also shoving security guards away from him that were trying to help him break up the fight to begin with. So, I mean, the fact of the matter is, yes, it became. It may even become a WWE public relations nightmare for what CM Punk did. At the same time, like I said, CM Punk had every right to defend himself. Yes, he did swung widely. He didn't swung with some control. But how can you swung with good control if all this stuff that all this action that you're doing, not just a performance, but there's also some actual emotional heat that goes with it in a live moment. And then not to mention you're acting, but you're also getting pushed and punched at the same time for real. What do you expect? And on top of that, these are not just professional wrestlers, these are also pro athletes too. People have this indication that just because they do professional wrestling, they think they cannot really fight. Well, I got news for y'all. They can really fight. They can not only fight, but they have ways of hurting you in ways that you won't even know. I mean, as far as when people try to fight a kickboxer or try to pick a fight with boxers or even MMA fighters, maybe very few would, but not many of them will try to because they know that what they do is for real and they fight for real. But as far as like basketball players or other athletes who are not into actual combat sports, or at least for that's 100% real, and yet they think that professional wrestlers is also one of those people that are too much entertainers, they can't really fight. I got news for you. There has been so many people that have made that mistake, thinking that these wrestlers cannot really fight. And guess what happened? They get their asses beat by the professional wrestler in ways, whether it's on the street or anywhere else. If they actually think that you can beat up a professional wrestler, you got another thing coming, guys. Come on. Professional wrestlers are tough. They train. They travel and everything, but they always constantly training. They're constantly beating up on people, each other or whatever. They are constantly getting themselves into shape. And they're also constantly getting injured for their troubles too. For real. So, I mean, you guys cannot just underestimate a professional wrestler. I mean, let's just say if I was supposed to get into a fight with an MMA fighter or whatever, I would at least have an idea of what an MMA fighter can do. But a professional wrestler, you really can't tell what they will do to you because it's almost it's very unpredictable situation that you're in. You don't know what background they may always have or what kind of credibility they may have as far as a fighting sport. I mean, CM Punk, for instance, I know this for a fact because I've actually done a little more research about it. But CM Punk, of course, is not just a professional wrestler. He is an actual legit fighter, too. I mean, let's see. He's a black belt, if I'm not mistaken, in kenpo karate. He is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-jitsu. He is a kickboxer, Muay Thai kickboxer, I might add. And he's also a actual wrestler, too. So, I mean, what were these people thinking? First of all, thinking that just because he's in professional wrestling doesn't mean he can actually fight. Well, he definitely hit someone for real, and that they didn't even had anything to do with it. I just think that fans need to start, really, stop being so aggressive and keep their hands to themselves and quit trying to pick fights with everybody. I mean, these type of fans, I just feel that they're not really fans. I just think they're just a bunch of losers and idiots who are just there to cause trouble. Because I think any real true fan would be more appreciative and would not just be trying to hurt the celebrity. They would do their best to actually respect them, respect their space, respect their boundaries, and things like that. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: if I was CM Punk, if I was in his position, if I was getting punched like that, I would have swung too. I would not only would have swung, but I would have made sure that any hand that was near me at the time, I would have grabbed it and I would have twisted it or done something with someone else's limb or whatever, because that was ridiculous what happened last night. And I'm sorry for the guy that got hit too. He was the wrong place at the wrong time, and I don't know whether he's going to continue to file charges or not. But it's just not a good image for WWE right now, especially now that they're trying to keep it more PG, yet still have it more adult oriented, depending on who they allow them to say, whether it's John Cena or the big stars. Not only that, but now Vince McMahon's wife, Linda McMahon, who was a former CEO of WWE, is also running for senator as well for Connecticut. So, I mean, in that retrospect, that cannot be good for her own campaign. And quite frankly, I don't really think she's really qualified to be a politician anyway. But that's just not going to do wonders for her. I mean, as far as her being a senator and so forth. I mean, the only thing that people would really know her of is the fact that she was associated and running WWE. They don't know her anywhere else, for that matter. Maybe a little bit of media appearances here and there, but really, I mean, as far as a politician, and then now this thing happened, don't think for 1 second that her opponent of the campaigns will not use that against her. I mean, they're already using a lot of things against her regarding the WWE materials that they've been putting out throughout many years and whatever. This will be another icing on the cake for her opponents. So I believe there goes her senator career, whatever it's supposed to be, whatever, because it never really took off to begin with. She didn't win the last election a couple years ago, and I really doubt now that she'll even win this one. If she wins it, I'll be surprised. Only time will tell. But she really doesn't have a lot of clue of what's goes on, as far as like the wages and various other things in politics. She thinks she does. Just because she's got money, she thinks she should just go in there and get what she wants. But the fact is, people are smart enough to find out she is not all that. She's not that good. But people are going to say a lot of things about, whether she, a lot of the scandals that has happened. But despite all those scandals, or despite all the things regarding the CM Punk situation, I really doubt she's going to win this one. So, just because of the fact that she's not even that good enough as a politician anyway, or experienced. But like I said, I truly feel, before I go, fans need to keep their hands to yourselves. Please, just do it. It's just not worth the hassle. It's not worth getting a lot of people in trouble and yourselves hurt and stuff like that. So, anyway, this is from my advice. Take it from Standing Bear Thunderheart. I've seen too much of this stupidity, and I think it's time that somebody needs to put a stop to it. And I might as well say something about it before more people get hurt from all this. In any event, I'm gonna get going. I got a conference call to go in about an hour, so I gotta get ready. So take care, everybody. and many blessings to you all. Healing, it is all that is.